when Adrienne Batra came to Winnipeg, and some of us got to meet her, I thought, okay, here's a person coming to Winnipeg. I hope things really work out for her. But I never thought that I'd be spending very much time with her in the studio or on the phone doing the business of the Canadian Taxpayers Federation from a media perspective. Well, she stunned me. She shocked me, pleasantly surprised me, because yes, of course, she was talking about taxes and tax policy, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But she was a tremendous conversationalist. She was vivacious. She had a wonderful personality. And most important from our perspective, she was able to fashion a wonderful conversation so that even people like me, who don't spend a whole lot of time thinking about taxes, were going, hey, this is really interesting.
I'm the guy that hired Adrienne Batra, and I hired her as a fundraiser, and she didn't raise a nickel in the time that she was our fundraiser. At least if she did, she didn't raise very much. But she talked a lot. So I eventually made her our communications director in Winnipeg, and she talked her very well there and wrote very well, and she did a hell of a job for us in Winnipeg.
Like all good people, she comes from the province of Saskatchewan, where I'm from as well. And I met her first when she was working as a policy advisor for the Saskatchewan Party. And that was back in the days of Elwyn Hermanson.
I've known Adrienne for a number of years. I've watched her as a broadcaster. I witnessed her talent as a journalist, and it's hard to miss her because she's outgoing. She's right on target. Everything that she believes, she gives with passion.
I first met Adrienne 20 years ago when we were both working together at the Canadian Taxpayers Federation. One of my memories was going to an event with her at a local bar, and she knew everybody. This was the thing about Adrienne. She knew everyone, every single journalist in town came by, showed up, said hi. It was like being with a celebrity. So not only was she fighting taxes, but she clearly had a way with engaging people, and she was an amazing friend to make at work.
I first met Adrienne when she came to be a guest speaker to my university class when she was director of the Canadian Taxpayers Federation for the Prairie region in 2006. We became fast friends after that, and got to work around each other, and then later with each other on campaigns and in media, and just really proud of watching her career and all that she's done.
I've known Adrienne for years, and before I knew her, I knew her. She's Adrienne Batra. She's amazing.
I know Adrienne from working with her at the Sun News Network. I'd heard of her before that, but hadn't worked with her in person, and quickly found that she's witty, personable, and very quick on her feet. And we also found out we had a shared military background.
She's known as someone as a radio commentator, radio host, television personality, a face that's known to so many Canadians.
Adrienne and I met in 2016. She's the editor-in-chief of the Toronto Sun and a very fun lunch companion.
I think I met Adrienne Batra at a party in Toronto, and you don't usually talk about topics like this, but I'm pretty sure I was talking about something about government waste, and she was on me immediately, and we immediately clicked.
I first met Adrienne on Sun News Network when we worked on air together, and I loved her fearless news reporting style, which she still has to this day, especially on tax fighting issues and story.
When I moved to Toronto, I knew no one. And the first person to say to me, do you know anybody in this city? Do you have friends? Do you have relatives? I said, I know no one, was Adrienne Batra, who immediately said, well, I'm getting together with people at 4 o'clock this afternoon, and here's where you need to be there. I know people because Adrienne knows people. The first one to reach out to me, and I love her for it.
When I think of Adrienne, I think of just this huge, larger-than-life personality, a big smile, a big personality that always filled the room, and she was able to leverage that for so much success with the CTF, introducing us to people, hugely successful events, media stunts, you name it. You always knew that it would be big and bold and earn lots of attention. She always did that. She always led the way, and we loved her for it.
Adrienne Batra has tons of wonderful characteristics. She could speak the language of economics in academia, but much more important to yours truly as a broadcaster, as a public communicator, as a mass appeal communicator, if you will. She knew how to boil it down, how to distill academic arguments into people's conversation.
You can't find somebody who's more of a can-do person, who's just positive to her very core, always looking for a way to move the ball further down the field, whether it's fighting for lower taxes or whether it's increasing the diversity of content in the media, especially for those of us who are conservatives.
She doesn't pull punches. She doesn't say things that she doesn't believe in. And I think you see what you get from Adrienne Batra.
You know, when you think of Adrienne and what makes her Adrienne, it's got to be her drive, her ability to bring people together, fun. It's hard to think of someone who's more fun and really driven towards accomplishments.
She fights for people she believes in and for her friends. And she's always putting others ahead of herself, and it's something very admirable.
One of Adrienne's best characteristics is definitely her leadership. She's been a newsroom leader for so many journalists for a number of years at the Sun papers. Very respected for that. One of her other, I think, top characteristics is also her friendliness, her likability, her warmth. And combining those two together, I mean, it's no surprise that she has been such a major figure in Canadian media.
Adrienne is funny, charismatic, and the best speech giver I've ever met. The first birthday of mine that Adrienne attended, she stood on a table and toasted me.
Adrienne is really funny, and it's useful in a way that engages people to talk about important topics.
Her sense of purpose in this world to make sure that all of us have I would say, a sense of fairness when it comes to our taxes. And I would say keeping them more in our pockets rather than going into a wasteful government.
Adrienne Batra is fearless. When the mayor of Winnipeg won one of our Teddy Awards for biggest waste of municipal government, she didn't just put out a press release. She picked up a piggy bank, spray painted it gold, made it look like our trophy, and marched it right down to the mayor's office. I think it's the only time in the history of our awards, in the 20-some years we've been giving out the awards, that an actual recipient came out to receive their award. And it was face-to-face with Adrienne Batra, and she didn't bat an eye.
She's got a quick mind. She is very able in this business to point to what the real issue on a story is, to figure out what the reader or the viewer wants to know when a politician is trying to pull the wool over our eyes. And of course, everyone should comment on her great fashion sense.
Adrienne Batra deserves the TaxFighter Award in any province, in any country, on any planet. Because when Adrienne Batra is fighting for a cause in the way that she knows, A, she does more homework than anyone, she does the prep, and then of course she applies her innate intelligence, and most important, she's able to create a conversation.
She's done so much for taxpayer emancipation, particularly in Winnipeg. She, of course, was on the radio quite a bit in Winnipeg, doing a talk show. The Adler show, she would fill in for Adler. And she's makes sure that taxpayers' issues are front and center in the Toronto Sun.
She's not only done things in the media where she is now, but she's done things behind the scenes in politics, either as a policy advisor or as a media advisor. I think particularly of her time with the mayor, Rob Ford. But in addition to that, also, with the Taxpayers Federation directly, she's somebody who's worked in both the NGO, the media, and the political side of policy, and that's pretty rare.
She picked working for Rob Ford, which was not the easy choice. I mean, he was not the front runner when she went and joined his campaign. He cut the car tax. I mean, that was $50 million a year saved to Ontario taxpayers, the car tax that was put in by former Mayor Miller. That's the kind of mayor that someone like Adrienne would go work for.
She bats 1,000 in everything that she believes in. And she hates governments who fool around with tax limits. She really believes that politicians don't spend money on the right things, and she believes that we should only help those that can't help themselves.
She has worked tirelessly for the past 2 decades to promote lower taxes, smaller government, and the vision that so many of us believe in, a government that is responsible with the money that it collects.
Oh, Adrienne is such a good example of someone who's fought for taxpayers for her entire career, be it in public service, working on campaigns and for politicians, be it in media, be it in her role at CTF where I first met her, that I can't think of a better person to earn this honor from the CTF because she has been fighting for taxpayers throughout her career in various capacities.
She cares about policy, she cares about saving tax dollars, and she just hates government waste. She loves exposing government waste. She loves exposing hypocrisy. And when I worked with her in Mayor Ford's office, she was passionate about cutting spending, unnecessary spending, and wasting taxpayer dollars.
Adrienne deserves this award because she's been fighting for the little guy since her time with the CTF back in Manitoba, her time at City Hall with late Mayor Rob Ford, and during her time on TV and in the pages of the Toronto Sun. There is an underlying principle that guides what she does, and that's looking out for the little guy, making sure that we're not getting hosed by those same politicians that want to pull the wool over our eyes.
Adrienne really deserves the TaxFighter Award because this is what she has done throughout her entire career, being a tax fighter. I'll tell you, one of the original mantras of the Sun papers was to stand up for the little guy. And not only has Adrienne led with that and really personified that throughout her time as editor-in-chief at the Sun, this has also been something she's been doing her entire career, standing up for the little guy, standing up for regular Canadians, standing up for the taxpayer.
There's no better person that will fight for transparency in government regardless of who's in power. Adrienne, here's to you.
She's such an incredible resource and such a staple in our country as someone who has been around for a long time and has been part of a lot of really important milestones along the way.
I can't think of anyone that's more deserving than Adrienne. She, again, for as long as I've known her, has been out there championing everything when it comes to taxpayers. Again, from when I've known her with Rob Ford, then mayor, and was out there front and center and fighting for the taxpayers then and now, and has continued that as the chief editor of the Toronto Sun.
Tax fighter, you bet. You're a fighter for every cause you've ever represented, for every person that you've ever represented, and for every country that you represented. I know that you did great work in our military. I know you've done great work in public communications. I also happen to know you've done a lot of great work for people without looking for a morsel of publicity. You're not just a tremendous professional. You're a tremendous human being. I am proud to call you my friend, and I couldn't be happier about this particular award. Adrienne, congratulations.
Adrienne, I want to congratulate you on the TaxFighter Award and joining the club.
Congratulations, Adrienne. You're a great tax fighter and a great person, and happy to have you as a friend.
Adrienne, you're a winner in almost everything you do. Fighting taxes is what every Canadian wants to hear from you. So congratulations for an award you rightfully deserve.
Adrienne, congratulations. Everything you've done in your career has really been impressive and successful. Everything you've touched has worked out well, but really proud to be here tonight and really proud to celebrate this honor with you.
Adrienne, we are all, those of us that are close to you are so lucky to have you in our orbit. You're an incredible person, an incredible friend, an incredible advocate, and we all admire you, respect you, and most hearty congratulations for this incredible award, and thank you for your years of service on behalf of taxpayers in Canada.
Adrienne, congratulations on receiving this award. You truly deserve it.
Adrienne, congratulations. Truly well deserved.
sincerest congratulations to you, my good friend, Adrienne Batra. Love you so much.
Congratulations, Adrienne. You deserve this.
To you, Adrienne, congratulations, a huge congratulations, really, to receiving this honor, and no one deserves it more than you.
Hi, Adrienne. Congratulations. Radha and I wanted to congratulate you on the TaxFighter of the Year award, and we're so sorry we can't be there to celebrate with you.
We can't think of anyone who deserves the award more than you.
Adrienne, I remember all of those years in Manitoba with the CTF, all the time, all the effort, all the challenges you faced. You met with such courage and conviction. You have continued to be an advocate for limited and accountable government. No one deserves this more than you.
We love you.
Dearest daughter Adrienne, these are your mom and dad from Saskatoon. Heartiest congratulations, honey, for receiving the TaxFighter of the Year award. We are so proud of you. Be successful in life and keep chugging ahead all the time.
We are really proud of you, Adrienne. We always wanted a leader in our family, and you are it. So be successful as you are, and God bless.
Adrienne, on behalf of the staff, board, and hundreds of thousands of supporters of the Canadian Taxpayers Federation, thank you. Thank you for your tireless efforts and for always standing up for taxpayers in every single thing you do. And congratulations on winning the TaxFighter Award.